Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, this is a story that refuses to stay off the headlines. There is no smoke without fire, as they say. We're back on the Osinbajo storyline again. Guys, I bring you this. Plot to force out Osinbajo uncovered, may receive Onnoghen treatment. So that's the headline. So again, plot to force out Osinbajo uncovered, may receive Onnoghen treatment. So now let's get into exactly what's being said this time around. In addition to pushing for Osinbajo's investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), the forces are reportedly insisting that the Vice President should account for Social Investment Program (SIP) funds which were under his supervision before the general election. In January, a non-government organization, Anti-Corruption and Research-Based Data Initiative (ARDI), forwarded a petition to the Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB), wherein it detailed fraud allegations against then Chief Justice of the Federation, Walter Onnoghen. ARDI's Secretary Dennis Aganya explained then that his petition against Onnoghen was to save Nigeria from collapse and that his organization commenced investigation against him in 2018. That was the plank upon which Onnoghen was arraigned before the Code of Conduct Tribunal on October the 3rd. The Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, CHRICED, charted a similar path when it called on the EFCC to probe Osinbajo in an alleged 90 billion naira released to him by the Federal Inland Revenue Service for the election. In the petition, CHRICED said the allegations were quite weighty and worrisome. The petition, signed by Ibrahim M. Zakiruhali, reads, "On the basis of this express declaration from the President to the effect that public funds was not deployed to fund electioneering purpose of the ruling party, the Nigerian people believed and trusted the President's pledge. However, the claims by Timmy Frank implied that the ruling party did not adhere to the directive of the President on his proclaimed non-use of public funds to prosecute the election in favor of the ruling party. If these allegations are proven to be true, it would also mean that the campaign finance legislation governing the electoral process as enshrined in the Electoral Act 2010 as amended had been flagrantly violated. If such, only a meticulous investigation of these claims will bring the truth to life. In the light of these developments and their implication for the legitimacy of the government and by extension the anti-corruption crusade, CHRICED calls for a robust, painstaking and thorough investigation of these claims with a view to verifying whether they are true or false. This step from your honorable commission is critical and will help clear the air and douse the suspicion which the allegations have precipitated since they began circulating. If the Vice President is culpable of these allegations claimed, then he should be made to face the consequences of such culpability. However, if the claimant making the allegations is found to be deceiving the public, appropriate steps should be taken to hold him to account in line with the rule of law. But of course, the rule of law has been suspended under the Buhari regime, so I'm not quite sure how much that applies, but we'll carry on. It was gathered that although the Vice President has no problem with his boss, the forces against Osinbajo are insisting that his role in the federal government's backed SIP must be investigated. A source privy to the plot added, at an interactive session with women in the presidential presidential villa early this year, it was the First Lady Aisha Buhari who raised the alarm that the federal government SIP was a failure in the north. The First Lady even said that the SIP failed in the state of the SSA to the president in charge of the program. These and other allegations about SIP funds are being bandied about against the vice president. This is a formal petition before the EFCC. They must act on it. Efforts yesterday to ascertain what the EFCC is doing about the petition yielded no result. Telephone calls and text messages to EFCC's head of media and publicity went unanswered. Regardless, 2 weeks ago, the vice president met with the Christian Association of Nigeria, CN, where he dismissed the fraud allegations as politics of 2023. It was gathered that at the meeting held in Akinola Aguda House inside the presidential villa, Osinbajo insisted that there was no 20 billion anywhere and that he is ready to defend his integrity anywhere. So now this is now the narrative now that is bedogging the vice president of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who has now been effectively cast adrift, because there's absolutely no questioning that statement anymore that this guy has been cast adrift. We can now see it clearly now that he has been cast adrift. The presidency has taken steps to remove parastatals under his supervision, and not only that, place him, Yemi Osinbajo, firmly under supervision. So firmly under supervision is what Yemi Osinbajo is now. His actual position within the presidency is now subject to supervision. And this is not just hearsay. This is not just me telling you anything that is just my guesswork or speculation. These are actually things that are already details coming out of the presidency. So a lot of the programs that are under Yemi Osinbajo's supervision have been taken away from him, either for actual valid reasons or invalid reasons. They have been stripped. Some of them have been moved to new ministries. Some of them have just been removed. A lot of his staff have been redeployed elsewhere, and the things that Osinbajo does have a constitutional supervision over, the things that he has statutory duties to carry out, this is also now subject to supervision, because of course the president is above the vice president, and he has oversight over the vice president's office. And we've heard the presidency say to the vice president that you must go through me for everything that you do in the future. So everything is already in the public space, so there's not a lot that I am saying that is subject to speculation. So this is now this guy, they are going after him full force. This is effectively what we're saying now. I did a video just a few hours ago about Femi Fani-Kayode talking about this particular matter and talking about a short list of 3 names that have already been drawn up to replace Yemi Osinbajo as the vice president of Nigeria. So these are all of the murmurings that are going on in the underbellies of the Aso Rock space and the Nigerian political space. So have no doubt about it, they are going for this guy, they are gunning for him, and they are going to bring him down and get him out of position one way or the other. So now it's the Onnoghen treatment now that is being speculated upon, but actually and in actual fact, this guy is a man under pressure and his time is limited. TikTok. The time is counting down for Osinbajo as the vice president of Nigeria. He is almost certainly not going to serve the full term of the Malam Buhari second term. That is if the Supreme Court allows this second term that Professor Mahmood Yakubu has gifted Malam Buhari to carry on. So that is still subject to a Supreme Court ruling, but we are not holding any hope on that. But if Malam Buhari does then get the opportunity to serve serve that second term in full, it will not be alongside Yemi Osinbajo to the end. That is certainly what we are getting now, the feel and the texture that we're getting from the Aso Rock Villa and the people around the corridors of power, and all of the things that we have seen that we're able to quantify independently, like this guy being stripped naked in the public space and all of his powers being removed by the presidency. That is not even speculation, that is something that did happen. So with all of these things, it's almost certain that the march to 2023 of the Buhari regime might not necessarily be to the inclusion of Yemi Osinbajo. So maybe he will now go and take his seat again in Unilag and educate our future lawyers, so which is really where his gift is in life. So maybe he should now go to what gift God has given him to go and make full advantage of that and be a blessing to the country in that way, because it's certainly not a blessing to the country in Aso Rock, where it's going around market squares handing out 10,000 naira to market women and being embarrassed and being debased in this way by the Malamis. Conversations in the comment section, the goons are coming and they're bearing ill intent for the vice president of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo. They want him out of seat and they want him replaced. Come tell me what your readings of the Yemi Osinbajo situation is in the comment section. But before you come engage with me in this conversation, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of what I am making of the Yemi Osinbajo situation, or what your independent reading of it is. All of that in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you there. But here I say peace.